Hello, my name is Rajan Arora and welcome to my video series Insights of Cloud Computing. You are watching the video of Module 2 Basics of Cloud Computing, Part 4 Benefits of Cloud Computing. If you are new to this series, please start it from the series overview video for better understanding. Thank you. So, now let's talk about the benefits of cloud computing, and we have talked about these benefits to some degree. But I want to summarize them in one long list so you are aware of all the benefits of cloud computing. So the first one here is fast access to resources or applications that you or your company needs. So let's take the previous example a little bit further. Let's say that you have a small business, perhaps you have 20 employees. They need access to mail. You could go and purchase your own email server. You could install, let's say, Microsoft Exchange and purchase a license for that. Configure the mail records, all those things, or you could go to the someone like Gmail or Office 365 and you could much more easily, much more inexpensively and with much less complexity have your own email system up and running within. For example, an hour instead of what might be a couple of weeks with the traditional physical server model. Much less having to learn how to install, configure and administer something like Microsoft Exchange. So, just an example of how cloud computing can provide you and your company fast access to the resources or applications that you need. Another benefit is you only pay for what you use. So, with the Microsoft Exchange model, you might have to purchase a physical server that scale up to, for example, 200 users. When you don't really need that capacity, you just have 20 users who need access to email. So, with cloud computing, you just pay on a per user basis. You pay only for the licenses for the user what you need, and if let's say a year later you have to cut staff down to just 10, well, then you have to pay for 10 licenses instead of 20. And compare that to having to pay for a physical server and software licenses that support up to 200 users. Another benefit here is there are no capital expenditure to get started. So again, with the email server, you don't have to purchase a physical server. You don't have to purchase a Windows Server OS license. You don't have to purchase Microsoft Exchange. None of that capital expenditure is needed. Simply pay on a per user basis each month for the number of users who are using the mail system, and then there is the potential to eliminate the needs for local IT staff to maintain the infrastructure and applications. Honestly, I am not a big fan of firing anyone here or getting rid of any employees. That's not what cloud computing is all about. The benefit here is, let's say that your company was a little larger than the 20-person company. For example, let's say you had 200 employees in a mid-size office and you might need to support those employees, let's say 10 physical servers. Well, to manage and maintain 10 physical servers, you are going to need one, if not two admins. Technical experts who are familiar with server, storage, operating systems, applications like Microsoft Exchange. All of this can be done in the cloud with cloud computing. And no, you don't want to get rid of those IT experts. But instead of having them spend their time upgrading servers, replacing power supplies, worrying about disaster recovery, requesting a diesel generator to keep the servers running, worrying about cooling and the data center, all those things that you have to do when you are traditionally computing, you can have them spend their time worrying about cloud computing. These IT experts that you are paying handsome salaries for don't have to worry about any of that stuff, and instead they focus on the business. They can help the business to leverage cloud computing and do what they can to use technology for the business benefits to improve competitive advantage and to improve the bottom line or the net income for the business to ensure that technology can help the business be profitable. Cloud computing also has the potential to lower your cost for the company when it comes to computing and application. And I don't say it's always lower those costs, but it has the potential to lower those costs. Additionally, you can deploy what you need yourself with self-service. So configuring, for example, Office 365 to provide your company's employees email access requires a little bit of knowledge, But it is far less knowledge than what's needed to spec out a physical server, some storage, UPS battery backup, install an application, install an operating system, install Microsoft Exchange and configure it from there. So you don't need much expertise and you can configure new users account with a few clicks of a mouse. Anyone can do that to add, let's say, a new email user mailbox for your company. So cloud computing is very focused on self-service and making things easy. And then finally, cloud computing allows the IT staff to instead focus on the business, and we talk about that a little bit above. Yes, you have the potential to eliminate local staff, but more than likely that local staff is needed for projects that increase the bottom line of the company. Business experts who understand the technology and can leverage technology to make the business more efficient, and that's really what the IT staff wants to do anyway. It shows that they can provide real value to the business instead of just keeping the lights on, as it's called, or keeping the physical server up and running. That doesn't provide any real value to the business at all. What the business needs are the application to do their job and do their job quickly and efficiently. The business doesn't need a data center full of servers. So those are the benefits, in my opinion, of cloud computing. But cloud computing also comes with some risks. So let's talk about those risks now. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thank you and see you in the next video.